use Hyde and do Hyde build, it's going to convert it to actual CSS. So I'm just going to use Vim here to show you. This is what it looks like right now. Remember, this is what I did a while ago. Line 1 and somewhere around here, nested UL. But if I go to output and look at this, well, actually, Hyde also did the wonderful thing of compressing it for me. But the thing is, if you look at menu UL right here, it also combined it for me. Same with the background color. In fact, EEE yata yan kanina, naging EE na lang compress it. Something like that. So, imagine writing CSS with all those conveniences. Of course, when you just load it in your browser, it doesn't work, but with Hyde, in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and do background times 0.5, meaning that's like 50% of that color. And I'm going to reload that. Oh, sorry. Localhost. Obviously, that wasn't what I changed. It was on the menu, right? Because I am such a genius that way. I meant to change this, right? And if I do that, see the background became darker. And it has more conveniences. Here's what I'm going to show you next. Have you ever heard of Compass? It's on compassstyle.org. See that? And what this is, it's a supplement to Sass. It's a supplement to SCSS. Actually, you see here, it doesn't really tell you much. So I'm going to be the one to tell you what it is. You see here, under the reference, no site name, it shows you what it could do. Say, for example, CSS3. It has all these features. I urge you not to read that one because I'm going to show you anyway. All right, you see this menu, see it, background, EEE, silly. All right, let's make that, you need to use a @include background linear gradient top. Something like this gray and that gray. You see, I didn't have to do like most linear gradient, WebKit linear gradient, and obviously I broke it because I did something wrong. Right? Oh yeah, before that, @include Compass CSS3. Hyde comes with built-in support for Compass, supposedly. Import, sorry. All right, so that's the generated thing. See, ito naman nangyari. It became WebKit gradient, WebKit linear gradient, most linear gradient. It just did all that for me, and I just had to write one line of code. And if I refresh this, see that? Yeah, in fact, check this out. Border radius, bam, border radius on 8px or something. Actually, it should be like 5. Box shadow, Moz box shadow. Screw that. Box shadow. What do you want? Like a 3px, 0. Then, okay, RGBA. You guys know RGBA, diba? This is like, yeah, it works like, I don't even know how it works. It's like 0.5, 0.5. Right. Check this out. I'm going to do something like this, just a hex and 0.5. That's a Sass extension that you could do this in Sass, or in fact, I could just do this as a FLAC. So this is a 50% FLAC, or maybe 30%, but it's not as strong. In fact, when you put a border, just a plain old CSS border, solid 1px, 666. And, okay, box shadow. In fact, let's do 2 box shadows. Make inset guy. You can have an inset 1px, 1px, 0, RGBA, white. So it's 30% white. All right? Oh yeah, check it out. Let's give Apple a run for their money. See that? And it doesn't even have like, I didn't have to write that Moz so-and-so. In fact, I'm gonna just go to style.css to show you the source of it. And that's all it generated for me. I'm not gonna write this, right? You know, compare that with this. That one I could maintain. That one I could look at and know what it is. But you know, that kind of tags right there to even, you know, even accounts for Opera and IE right there. I didn't even know MS could do border radius, but apparently they're trying. Anyway.
Nice one, Rico.
So there you go. Yeah. And that was so far, again, just to recap, I showed you Hyde, which was the preprocessor that builds all that stuff for you. And I showed you Markdown, which is like a condensed HTML thing, and I showed you Sass. And here's the next thing I'm going to show you. It's called Hamel. And you find it in hamelland.com. What this is, for example, have you ever had this problem? Let me just show you. Okay, and this is my layout, right? Somewhere along the line I forgot /div, now everything's all fucked up. I'm like, where the hell am I going to look for that, right? All right, this is what I'm going to show you. I'm going to replace all this. Actually, let me just make a new file. I'm going to call that default.haml. And it will look like this. A dot type is just like this. HTML is like this. And if I have HTML has head and body is like this. I don't even need to close the tags. Let me just make that a little bigger for you guys. Okay, I don't know how to make things bigger. Okay, I'm such a screw up. I'm sorry. There. All right. So ganito, if I want the title inside the head, I put title hello. Okay. If you see here, I don't need to close anything. It's kind of like a condensed version of HTML, and to have attributes, it's like a link rel style sheet like this, and ref style.css. And I think I had the menu. See here, pound CSS lang. May pound sign for ID. Probably need to ULLI a ref. I hate text like this one. Okay. All right. I just did that, and probably about products or contact. Now, somewhere along the line, I'll have a content and a footer. Okay. This is a footer. This means this is going to be footer ID footer. Like that. But for my class, that's going to be looking like this. So anyway, I want the footer copyright me. The content I'm going to use yield, which is the same as what we used here. This tag, except it's done in Hamel. So I'm just going to remove this. Okay, save. Then the terminal. Okay, hide things. Okay. Whatever. Of course, I screwed up somewhere. Can anyone see where I screwed up? Because they can. Okay, sorry, I'm just going to use my favorite text editor because...
Yes, go Pim. Go Pim. Gosh, you can see.
There's an this way.
Okay, and we're back in business, I think. Or not. In fact, let me just get the one that I already had. Ta-da! Okay. Okay. Of course, I had to back up. Okay, this one is working for sure. There we go. Yeah, and basically, if you ignore the fuck-ups that I did because I couldn't see tabs and spaces here, so this is what it looks like. Yeah. And I didn't even need to close any of the UL tags. It just, it just closes it for me. So if I view source this thing, yeah, here's what it looks like when it output. Yeah. So yield was replaced with whatever was in the page, and that's it. So far I showed you SAS, Compass, Hamel, Hyde, and Markdown. If you guys want to explore, there's also Nano C, which is kind of like Hyde, but a little different. It's also written in Ruby. There's also Jekyll, which was what inspired Hyde. If you guys could find a connection, actually Jekyll Ruby. Yeah. So they all similarly work the same, and they have the same concept. You see here in Nano C, wrote what this looks like, Markdown as well, and here generated a bunch of HTML and CSS the same way. Jekyll also does the same thing, and yeah. So anyway, I totally recommend Hyde because it was written by us. You see here side font. That's where I work. So anyway, so that was that. That was Hamel, that was SAS, that was Compass, and all that shebang. And here are the URLs for you to check out. If you guys want to look into it. And that's it.
Thank you.